I was burning a little bit of the midnight oil here. Got a Longhorn. This was a pre-purchased, prepaid radio. This one's for Mr. 720 in the lakes. We'll test it out, make sure it falls within our expected output parameters and everything, tuned up, ready to go. Check out a couple of features on it. Obviously, we'll make sure the talkback works. Echo.
Hello, audio.
Things of that nature. We're just running old Cobra stock mic on it here. I recommend the Extreme 2018 or Superstar 507. They sound probably the best. You run a Ranger 198 on them, they actually sound pretty good too. Although I do think they sound a little better if you have the modifications done to it.
Audio on to audio.
Obviously, we just got this old crappy thing on here, so not going to sound the greatest. But everything's working as it's supposed to. We'll do a power output test on it, and then get this thing wrapped up and boxed up for him and sent down the way. Again, if you see on the website that these aren't in stock because they generally sell as fast as I can get them in, you can always do the pre-order option, and 10 to 14 business days, you'll have it shipped out and on the way to you. Generally a faster turnaround than what most shops are getting anyway, so we don't like to keep stuff sitting here for more than, a week or two generally. So 10 to 14 business days, most times faster than that. And that's how he ordered this one. So okie dokie, 14.8 volts is what we're at right now. We'll test it on AM first. RF power is all the way down. We got our peak meter turned on. Let's do average power first. This with RF power all the way down on AM. Oh, yeah. You can see it swings forward to about 200 average from very little. It's probably like 5 or 10 watts. If we turn it up halfway, we get about 120 watt dead key. And that's generally where I tell people probably to run this. It's pretty easy to remember because it lines up basically straight with your fine and coarse. So, running it by itself, this is probably where I'd run it. Maybe a little bit lower. It really just depends. If you find that you're kicking the fan on all the time because the fan is thermally activated, you can back it down a little bit, but generally straight up and down. Hello. And you see some crazy good average power there. So hello radio, hello radio. Over here, hello radio, audio. We get close to 50 amps right there on AM. Now, if we want to go and show you peak power, generally we're going to want to see somewhere between 700 and 800 watts PEP on AM. On sideband, we want to see around 700 watts PEP. So let's make sure that it falls within those parameters there. We're just talking in the mic normal. Radio. Check 1, 2, 3, audio. Right there about 800 watts. Again, we're at 14.8 volts. So if you have less voltage, you don't have quite as good a power supply, you could see a little bit less. Obviously, watt meters can make a difference. A lot of people get them, put them on a brand new Dosey. They do about 700 or so, give or take. So now what I want to do is I want to go to sideband and show you the peak output there. Hello, check 1, 2, 3, audio, check 1, 2, 3, audio, check 1, 2, 3. About 700 PEP. Now, what I want to show you on sideband is you will have a significant amount more amp draw. Now, all we did, keep in mind, guys, we just left it where it's at. We could probably even back it down a little bit for sideband. But just for testing, we just left it where we had it set on AM. Check audio, check audio, check audio, check audio. And you can see, as expected, it draws a lot more current on a sideband. That's just generally how it works because it's doing a crap load of average power on sideband. I mean, I beat this horse to death, but people that say that average doesn't matter on sideband, if it didn't matter, then why does the radio show so much more average power on sideband and draw more current? It goes hand in hand together. So as you guys can see, just easily talking into it, bouncing up there around 400 average. If we audio into it, it'll probably do like 500 or so. We'll check the output on a lower sideband here. Check radio, 1, 2, 3, audio, check 1, 2, 3, audio, check 1, 2, 3, audio, 700 PEP. This one might actually be doing a little bit more, but generally between 675 and 700 PEP is what they'll do on sideband once you get a good amount of power out of them on AM. That's how we've chose to set them up. Different places will set them up in a different way. I mean, I could tell you guys, you can make this radio show 600-700 watts PEP and not show any average power. And it'll show fine on the watt meter, but if you ever hooked a clamp meter up to it, you'd be saying, well, hell, this thing ain't drawing but 30 amps. How's it doing 700 watts at 30 amps? If you don't turn the power up to a proper amount, it's not going to be doing right. And average power is going to make more of a noticeable difference on the receiving end of it. So it's always important to kind of balance it out, the PEP and the average, because they both matter. You can always turn the amp section off. I mean, you can hit that button, turn the amp section off, see what it does, PEP. This is with the amp section off, bottom scale, audio 1, 2, 3, audio 1, 2, 3, audio. You know, a little bit over 100 watts PEP there. How much does it draw? Audio 1, 2, 3, audio. Go down to a different scale. Hello, audio 1, 2, 3, audio. You know, 6, 7 amps with the amp section turned off on it. Make sure it receives. We'll wrap this video up. So there you go. That's just dummy load to dummy load. Just a quick little test we do to make sure the radio receives properly. Notice we have not kicked the fan on, not once. Generally you won't unless you get long-winded on it. Gosh, if I can get this to sit up on there. I got a local buddy of mine. He actually thought his fan didn't work on his because he had been talking on it for like 2 weeks and never got the fan to kick on. And he finally did get the fan to kick on. His is set up exactly like this one, and he drives it into a 24 pill. Final thing, if you want to use one of these to drive an amp, you're going to have to get a very large amp to accept one of these. 16 pill 2879C, 24 pill 2879 standard. That's going to be what you need. That's what he uses with his is a 24 pill. So, and it's a hell of a combination. It does really well. It does really, really well together. 2,000, 2,500 average, you know, getting up there close to 6 kW PEP. So that's it, guys. Longhorn, again, if you're interested in one of these, you like how this one does, go to roostercb.com under the pre-order section, prepay section. You can get one ordered and we'll get it to you quick, fast, and in a hurry. Appreciate everybody. Rooster in Tennessee. This one's for Mr. 720 in the Lakes. Appreciate your business, man. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's everything that you hoped it would be. Rooster in Tennessee, roostercb.com. See you, bye.